to revelation so divine. Flip them scripts, endless grace you'll find. Songs singing sweet, unbroken lines. Hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound. Plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul serving sound. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learning perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made of steel. Bethlehem birth to cross on the hill. Unfolding the natural blessings, pastor with skill. Scripture flip, every verse fulfilled.
Through the word, every verse, every chapter, nothing unheard. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extends. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. 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 Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow.
Welcome in, everybody! Welcome in! Earl Grey today. Earl Grey all day. Earl Grey. There we go. Sorry, just looking, and here's a bit floppy today. There we go. It's funny. I shaved the side a little bit there, if you can see. And when I pull my hat down, it looks like I'm bald. It's like there's no hair there, which I did have, the jumping sideburns going on, which my wife hates. She hates those. It reminds her of sitting in church as a little girl next to the guy with all the ear hair and the bushy, and she's like, "No, it's not sexy. You need to get rid of it." I'm like, you like it. You know it. Hey, Donut Christian, welcome in. Galaxy saw you here. Luce is in the chat. Who else was here? Who else did I miss? I saw the emote festivities. Yes, festivities going on earlier. Lots of dancing emotes there. Hope you're doing well, Donut Christian. All right. So, was playing around. If you did not see, I got some new. I don't have them all in there because some are for the other tank that is not set up. I got some new plants, just cheap little ones to go in there. But I noticed when I took them out and didn't have enough in there that the fish would at times just get really skittish and they're trying to go have something to hide behind. So I got some more plants to put in there to make them feel more comfortable. It does nothing to protect them, but they feel like they're protected. So let me just give you a quick shot of the tank from the end. And so I like the view. I like the view. Got a little grass there along the wall on both sides. You can see the little cave that's there. You can see the broken pot that's in the back there that they can go inside and hide. And so they're looking good. They're looking good. I just got to keep up on the water. They are overcrowded right now, and I need to move some to another tank. But I need to redo my room again. I don't know if you were here, who was here for the reno of this room. I did a reno stream, and I redid the floor. Well, it has not worked. The thermal layer that I put has, it can expand and contract. It's like bubble wrap almost. So it flexes enough because I do not have a wood-based floor. I have a flexible plastic-based floor. So it flexes with when I stand on it underneath my chair where I sit. It sits on the crack and it pushes it down and back up, pushes it down, and it's broken. So I need to fix that. I need to do it before winter. And I don't know if I will stream it this time with the reno because I want to just get it done instead of taking the time to do it on stream. But I'll let you know. So when that happens, I might be streaming upstairs. I got to move fish. What I want to do is put another aquarium in here. I have the other aquarium, so I'm thinking I'm going to extend the wall back further, more aquariums in the background. It's going to be a whole thing. So, also, I need a little bit more room for VR. This needs to push back just a little bit, just a wee bit. And expanding the room will help me do that. So, anyway, let me get the browser up here so you can see. My brain is on multitask mode right now, and part of that is I'm watching the Busan conference in South Korea and trying to keep track of everything that's going on there. Oh, by the way, this was super cool. So a friend of mine from seminary who's from Rwanda, I saw him share a post yesterday of himself at the conference. I didn't know he was at the conference. And so I messaged him and I said, hey, stop by the church digital booth and say hi to Jeff and JMO. So JMO this morning has a picture of him and he shared it with me. I was super excited about that. I have so much FOMO going on right now. I'm filled with FOMO. I'm missing out at a IRL meetup in South Korea that I had no money and I had no tickets and I couldn't go. But, it'd still be great to be there. I didn't really ever realize FOMO was a thing until I know people online and I want to IRL meetup and they IRL meetup and I suddenly have FOMO. So 50 cents fish has expanded more tanks. It has. Yes, the 50 cent tank, 50 cent fish, a new tank. I already have the filter for the new tank, and I got to get like there's probably 3 times as many fish in that tank at the size they are as it should be, which means I have to do so many water cleans on it because they're dirty fish and I can't keep it clean. So I need to expand that to another one, and then I probably got to expand past that. I have the other expansion, so. Pop Taterhead, good morning, sir. I hope everyone has an amazing day. Well, we will now that you're here, friend. We've been just sitting here waiting, wondering what we shall do with our lives. We wanted some inspiration, and Pop Taterhead shows up, and our day is made. No, we're all good, but hey, our day's made anyway. You're here. Love it, friend. Thank you for stopping by. I just love saying your name. I know some people really like my name, or they really hate my name and think it's a tongue twister. I don't know. Pop Taterhead is just so much fun. I love saying that name. Love it anytime you come in. Appreciate you, friend. Okay, so we are going through. Sorry, I'm going to be distracted today. Not in the normal way, but in the I'm checking my phone kind of way, because while the conference is happening in South Korea, people will be joining the Church Digital Discord and the Church Digital WhatsApp group. And so I'm the greeter. So I need to be available and online and greeting people as they come in. Thankfully, it has not been a huge flood of people coming in to greet, but oh my goodness, one this morning was just so fantastic. Guy sharing a little bit of his story, which was super cool, and he's been hanging out in the sphere for a while, watching and stuff. And so when it was like, oh, we can go on WhatsApp, he's like, let me in. He's in the Netherlands, by the way. I love Global. Global is so much fun. It is so much fun to say, hey, my friend from the Netherlands, my friend in Germany. Oh, yeah, so my friend in Germany is at Lausanne Conference. My friend from Orlando is at the conference. 2 of my friends from Orlando actually are at the conference. My friend from Texas is at the conference. My other friend from Rwanda who lives in Texas is at the conference. This is like, I should be there. Okay, let's get to our text today. So, reading through the Bible in a year. You wonder how we get behind. It really is puzzling to me how we get behind. No, it's not because I'm off track. It's because I end up not on stream. So we're working on Bible in the year. If you're new, we're in the book of Isaiah. We started Isaiah, and I'm hoping to get through about 30 by the end of the week. So we're at 13. I'd love to get through 30. That would put us only 2 weeks behind. Only 2 weeks behind. With a week vacation there in the summer and some conferences and trips to my mom. We, just haven't caught up. But if we can plow through Isaiah, actually we're doing good, I feel like. Isaiah's some deep stuff. I feel like we're going at a good pace through that. But my hope is next Tuesday we'll start Galatians, and by the time we, get to the, actually it is the end of the month next week. I was gonna say get to the end of the month. No, we won't get caught up by the end of the month, but hopefully in October we'll get caught up. Okay, so we're in Isaiah 13. I know it always backs up to the previous chapter. Okay. So this is interesting. This is an oracle. I love it. I love it when they give us the words on the side. I don't have to go look them up. I mean, I like to, but they're going to give me something deeper and richer at times than just the meaning of the word. Masa, pronouncement, a lifting up of the voice. So a pronouncement, like it could be just an announcement kind of thing, a lifting of the voice, a declaration I like oracle. I think that really gives the flavor in English of what we're looking up. But the literal is the pronouncement, the lifting of the voice. Technical term introducing a message of the Lord. It's in Nahum, Habakkuk, Zechariah, and Malachi. Derived from the root nasa, to lift. So you like how they did that? They changed the N to an M and went from nasa, to lift, to a masa, the lifted up voice. It is probably connected in the phrase to raise one's voice, and is usually translated as oracle or utterance, because the root also can mean to carry a burden. It has also been suggested that its nuance is of a burdensome message. Here is the message which the prophet saw, suggested that it is a report of the prophetic version. In Nahum 1, the oracle is called the Book of Visions. Hey, Mel, welcome in, friend. Good to have you here. We are in Isaiah 13. And if you do not have this, I do believe I posted in the Discord, probably under the Bible section. But here is my chart of the kings. So as kings are being mentioned, I keep looking at my chart to say, who are we talking about? So we are still in, oh no, it's Amos. Wait. Sorry, son of Amos. Sorry, I was thinking that was the king. No, I was reading that wrong. So that's Amos. So that's just Isaiah's dad, which we looked up the other day. Okay. Why do they have a footnote there? The Lord is speaking here. Oh, they're just telling us. So this is the vision, the oracle that Isaiah saw about Babylon. On a bare hill, raise a signal flag, shout to them, wave your hand, so they might enter the gate of princes. I have given orders to my chosen soldiers. I have summoned the warriors through whom I will vent my anger, my boasting, arrogant ones. So I'm waving a flag to these soldiers. They're going to come in. Let them right in the gate. Don't fight them. You boasting, arrogant ones. What do you think they're going to do? What do you think they're going to do? Oh, you boasting, arrogant people, just let the invaders in. You'll be fine. Yeah, they'll do that. Not. There is a loud noise on the mountain. It sounds like a large army. There's a great commotion among the kingdoms. Nations are being assembled. The Lord of heaven's army is mustering forces for battle. They come from a distant land, from the horizon. It is the Lord with the instruments of judgment, come to destroy the whole earth. Okay. Or perhaps land. Oh, there's my friendly spider that I notice every once in a while. He lives behind my screen in the corner, which I'm usually good at. But, he's got some bright, like, white or yellow markings on his back. And, that makes me a little nervous. But he likes crawling around on my foam sound panels. So, yeah, he blends in really well with the black ones. Told you, I'm really, really highly distracted this morning. Too much multitasking going on. Okay, whole earth, that's where we were at. Could be perhaps land, even though the heading and subsequent context indicate Babylon's judgment is in view. The chapter has cosmic flavor, suggesting that the coming judgment is universal in scope. Perhaps Babylon's downfall occurs in conjunction with a wider judgment. Okay. Coming destruction on the whole earth or on the land. What I was going to say here is, just because the whole earth, it's the most powerful kingdom. If this judgment, which so far I haven't seen, let's see, let me go back and read the beginning there. About Babylon. Okay, so this is an oracle about Babylon, so we don't get confused. So Babylon needs to surrender to the coming. What? Thanks for the sub. Do the day sub. Thank you, my friend. I'm blessed by having a stream and community in my life. Thank you. You are welcome. 18 months.
Flatka 4 tip 2 you Flatka 4
18
hype
months straight.
Flatka 4 excite I'm blessed by having your stream and community in my life. Thank you. Flatka 4 blessed Flatka 4 tip 2 you Flatka 4 hype.
I only leave jumping spiders alone in my house. All the others freak me out. I usually pay no mind to any of them unless they are potential hazards to my health if they were to bite me in my sleep. This one probably is. However, it has to travel the entire length of the house, go upstairs, travel the entire length of the house back to get to my bed where I'm sleeping. So, I probably should do something about this one, but I only think about it while I'm streaming, and I'm not doing it then. So, that would be a fun redeem. Catch the spider as a redeem. I don't know how I'd get the camera work to happen, but your daughter's around, she'd relocate them outside for me. And that's what I would do. That's what I do if I'm going to take it. I don't usually kill them. It's funny, I had like 3 different people this year. 3 different people come and try to get me to pay them to kill ants and spiders in my yard. Like, why? They're in my yard. What do I care? They'll get in your house. Let them. It's not my fault. RCN, tip of the cap, friend. Tip of the cap, and thank you for the spot of tea. Drinking Earl Grey today. All day Earl Grey today. And welcome in, RCN. I hope you're having a blessed day, friend. Okay, what I was getting at is the whole earth is mentioned. To destroy the whole earth. So, I know you've probably heard this because I've heard it. You hear the all means all. If the Bible says all means all. Well, it can. It doesn't always mean all means all. When we're doing destruction language and it says everything was destroyed, it's using hyperbolic language to talk about total destruction, not literal destruction. You are doing well? Great. Yeah, I am as well. I'm excited today. I get to go see my niece do some, I guess is it niece? I don't know. Second cousin? I don't know how I figured that out. Anyway, it's my sister's stepdaughter's daughter, whatever that is. I get to go see her run some cross country today. So that just excites me. So I'm going to go do that. I get to play that role, and I don't get to do that much, to go watch other family members do sports and support them. So I get to do that today, so I'm excited about that. And I'm also going to play with VR this afternoon. So, grandniece, thank you. Thank you, Lucis. I was thinking it was niece. I don't ever use the grand titles. Like grandma, grandpa, that's the only ones that get grand. Nobody else. I just don't use it. Or great. Like, what did you do that made you great? You survived? That's it? That's all you've done? Okay, anyway, the whole earth does not have to literally mean the whole earth. It's more a reference to your whole kingdom. Your whole kingdom. The same way that it talks about the 70 nations being the whole earth, going out to the whole ends of the earth. That's the known world. It's the sphere of where you are. Yeah, they know there's things beyond there. They're not talking about those things. Okay. Wail, for the Lord's day of judgment is near. It comes with all the destructive power of the sovereign one. I want to and not only do you get the instrument of judgment coming to the whole earth, but wait, there's more. Wail, for the day of the Lord's judgment is near. It comes with all the destructive power of the sovereign one. For this reason, all hands hang limp. Every human heart loses its courage. They panic. Cramps and pain seize hold of them. But wait, there's more. Like those of women who are straining in birth. And look to one another in astonishment. Their faces are flushed red. Yes, not only do you get that. And get for free a set of Ginsu knives. Yes, no Ginsu knives, unless they're used on you to shed your blood. And wait, look, The Lord's day of judgment is coming. It is a day of cruelty and savage, raging anger, destroying the earth and annihilating its sinners. Oh, I gotta go look that up. What does that word mean in the Hebrew? What word are we having? Raging anger. What's the footnote? Cruelty and fury, rage of anger. 3 synonyms for anger are piled at the end of the line, emphasizing the extraordinary degree. Yeah, so it's like cruelty, savage, raging anger, destroying, making desolate. Oh, I like the desolate better than destroying. Like a desolate land is an uninhabited land. It's devoid of humans. I like that better. It could also be devoid of animals too. That just feels better than destroying. Destroying to me just sounds like, oh, the buildings are knocked over. Desolate makes it feel like everyone was wiped out. Okay, so we are... What chapter are we in? We're in 13. And that is verse 9. So what is it for? The annihilation of... Destroy the sinners thereof. Okay. Desolate, and you shall destroy the sinners. Hata of it. Hatamin. Chata.
Strong's H 2400. Chata. Chata.
Okay. Sinful, exposed to condemnation, reckoned as an offender. 13:13 in Genesis. First use. What does it say? The men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly. The census of these sinners against their own souls. Let them make the broad plates for covering the altar. Okay, so that's making that's an interesting use. Increase of sinful men. Okay. Destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fighting against. Okay. So the first use is of Sodom. The first use is of Sodom, and let me go see this. Let me see if I can find this real quick, because I believe it's in one of the prophets that talks about the sin of Sodom. Yeah, this translation might not have it. Okay. Don't want Genesis, I want the prophet. Vine of Sodom. Oh, it's Isaiah 110. Hear the words, you rulers of Sodom. That's not what I was looking for. Punish my people greater than Sodom. Fortunes of Sodom or daughters of Samaria. Okay, I'm not finding what I'm looking for. But sometimes that happens. I have a reference in the back of my head and not sure where it's at. So I don't want to get too sidetracked. But anyway, what I was trying to look at was in the degree of the first use is of Sodom. Oh, that's one of the things I just heard yesterday, and I got to go look it up. Haven't done it yet. I heard a podcast talking about how, we all get upset when Lot wants to hand over his daughters. They were pointing out, and I got to go read it in the text. I haven't done it yet. His daughters aren't home. His daughters aren't home. He's trying to trick the guys into accepting something that he can't even give them. He is being deceptive here. He's lying to them. I'll make you a deal. I'll give you my daughters. And then they'll ask where the daughters are when they agreed. And so he's buying time. He's trying to... I'm like, I have to go double check that. I have to verify. So just the same way, if you hear me say anything, you're like, yeah, I'm not sure about it. Go check it. Go listen to other people. I mean, that's what I'm doing. I have a set that this is what I've seen, heard, understood. And I'm constantly listening to others who help me see new things I haven't seen, I haven't saw, I haven't understood before. So I was thinking there in regards to really the level of sin that Sodom is about oppression of the stranger. One, two, if they just some guy with the daily resub 32 months. Oh my goodness. They have probably been subbing
Yay,
since the
anniversary.
very moment.
Also, you did say yellow is one of your favorite colors?
Yes. Yay, anniversary. I did say yellow is one of my favorite colors. Yellow is probably my favorite color. If you notice over here, yellow and then purple. And then the hat, the logo hat, up over in the corner. It's yellow and purple. Those are my two favorite colors. Now, if you're going to go colors together, I love maize and blue together. I love maize and blue. They look so great. All right, RCN. What I'm going to check my yellow cap. I don't have a yellow cap. My first hat was yellow. I have not been able to find one since. That is what I'm on the lookout for always. Where can I find a yellow hat? So no, I don't have one. Most colorful cap. Okay. I'll say this is most colorful because it's got the blue, the green, and the red. So that's the most colorful one that I have. This is also made out of recycled coffee bags. This is also my most expensive hat. So it is redeemed. It is restored. It is rejuvenated. It is also sackcloth and ashes of repentance. So this was what I would say 2 years ago for Streamiversary it was. I put 4 hats, I think. 4 hats in a poll and ran the poll all week long for Streamiversary. Like, why do one day? Why do one day? So I think it was in 3rd place after day 1. And day 2, someone said, "Oh, it's a redeemed hat," and it started to get some votes. And says, "Oh, it's rejuvenated, it's restored." And then when we got the sackcloth and ashes, it just went took off. All the voting was for this hat, and I secretly wanted it. It looks so much better than the picture did. It looks so much. I'm so glad for the win. I've been so happy for the win. I was really reluctant to go, let other people vote for a hat, and then I get to wear it. Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, I get a hat, but there were a couple others on that list that I really, really wanted and had never got. But right now, what I am on the lookout for is a yellow hat, a better red one than this, so that one can wait. The red can wait. Yellow will happen if I find this color yellow right here with the RC, or a brighter yellow over there, or a SpongeBob yellow, or the yellow right here, yellow orange. That's going to happen if I find that. Or orange hat. Like, I would love one that was like hunter's orange, so it looks like I can go hunting with my flat cap. I think that would be funny. If it was a camo with orange, would be really funny, but just orange would be great. So those are, and then I've got some others that's like, well, it's got to be a certain this or that because I don't need more and I have no income, so can't go spending money on hats I don't have. Lucis. I think it's the only one that has been named as far as caps are concerned. Oh, well, it's the only one that's been named by Stream. I'll show you the one I had on just a second. The one company that some of the hats are from names their hats. This one is the Lunchbox. That's the Lunchbox. This one, which is like a plum, I wish it was more purple, but this is the Aficionado. The Aficionado. So he's got wine and a cigar there. This one's fun too. So yeah, some of them are named. Like that company likes to name their hats, which is kind of fun. It's just kind of fun. Okay, so we got sidetracked with sinners, and I don't think there's anything extra hidden there. But I think there's a level of the sin is in regards to hospitality and violence. I think is part of what's going on there. Hospitality and violence. Your Walmart flat caps don't have names. Well, my cheap bottom row of hats here that are work hats. They have no names and will never have names. It's the light blue one, the dark blue one, the white one. They're all a mesh. If I wear those a lot, they'll wear out, and then I'll just get more. They were super cheap. Okay. Indeed, the stars in the sky and their constellations no longer give out their light. Okay. Do not flash their light. The sun is darkened as soon as it rises, and the moon does not shine. I'm trying to figure out, are we supposed to be reading these things literally? Is this literally talking about darkness? So if you don't have the stars at night, you can't get guidance from them. If the stars aren't giving their secrets out by reading the stars, is that what it's talking about? The sun in darkness, as soon as it rises, you can't move around in the day. Or is there a little bit deeper level of this is talking about, sorry, I've got a hair that's just like, doesn't move over. Why is that not moving? There we go. Not Babylonians. The Romans and the Greeks are probably the ones that we would know the best of. Each planet has a name, and each constellation has a name, and those were seen as entities, as gods. Well, the Babylonians were no different. So is this a reference to your gods no longer are giving you light, meaning they're not informing you anymore? And they've gone dark. Like, your gods are in hiding. Your gods are no longer providing for you. Is this a spiritual condemnation of the reality that's going to happen? Or is this a physical manifestation of you're going to lose your way of guidance? I'm not sure which. I will punish the world for its evil and wicked people for their sins. I will put an end to the pride of the insolent. I will bring down the arrogance of tyrants. I will make human beings more scarce than pure gold. Okay, so that matches with the desolation earlier. And people more scarce than gold from Ophir. So, pure gold. Oh, wait. No. The best of pure gold. So, I will shake the heavens, and the earth will shake loose from its foundations because of the fury of the Lord of heaven's armies. In the day he vents his raging anger. Okay. What do they have on the footnote? From its place. Yeah, from its foundation. Okay. This is metaphorical language, which would match the way that ancient people tried to describe how the earth is held up, how the earth is. It's got a foundation, So it's not a textbook saying that this is how earth operates. The Bible is not concerned with that, explaining those things of the how. It is concerned with the who and the why. So you can go to the Bible and ask who and why. Who is doing this? God. Why is he doing it? Because of the sin of the people. There we go. The who and the why. Now, when it's trying to explain the earth, it's not trying to explain how the earth actually functions. It's not actually on a foundation. It's not actually in its place. The heavens aren't actually going to shake. It's metaphorical language of destruction, of war, of pending doom. I mean, if the earth shakes, aren't you afraid? Yes, if you've ever been in an earthquake. Or you've just been in a storm and your house shakes, your building shakes. It sounds like howling and other things. Yeah. So that's how you're going to describe it. Like a frightened gazelle or a sheep with no shepherd, each will turn toward home. Each will run to its homeland. So all of those you've taken into captivity when destruction comes, they're just going to flee. They're not going to fear you. They're going to get out of there. Everyone who is caught will be stabbed. Everyone who is seized will die by the sword. Their children will be smashed to pieces before their very eyes. Their houses will be looted. Their wives will be raped. Look, I am stirring up the Medes to attack you. Against you, against Babylon, against them. So, he's telling you who's coming. He's telling you who's coming. Oh, and if when we get to Habakkuk, Habakkuk was worried about the Babylonians coming and destroying Israel, and God told him, "Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the Babylonians coming, because when after the Babylonians, I'll take care of the Babylonians. So they'll judge you, I'll judge them. Don't worry about them." Welcome in, Artsy Bible Nerd. Oh, by the way, so I was listening to one of the podcasts I think you mentioned, and they had a really interesting thought, which I haven't followed up on, and that was talking about Sodom and Gomorrah and Lot when he was negotiating with the men who were trying to take the angels, and it pointed out, which I got to go look up, that his daughters weren't home when he offered his daughters. So he's not really offering his daughters. He is deceiving the men of the city or buying time or some other faction along those lines. So he's not doing something as heinous as we think he's doing. Let me pull it up a second. Oh, sorry. No, it wasn't one that you recommended. I switched to another one that's been on my list for a while. The Sword and the Staff. The Sword and the Staff podcast, which is another Australian podcast. I listened to a few of those. So, no, sorry, I'm wrong. It wasn't one that you... Truth Over Tribe today? Ooh. That sounds good. Okay, so the Medes are coming. Sometimes it's called the Medes and the Persians. Sometimes it's called the Persians. Sometimes it's called the Medes. They are one group, but they often have the two names together. So this is even before all of the destruction's happening is you're going to Babylon, you're going to get it. They are not concerned about silver, nor are they interested in gold. So the Medes and the Persians aren't out for wealth. They have a different motivation. Their arrows will cut young men to ribbons. They have no compassion on one's person's offspring. They will not look with pity on children. Babylon, the most admired of kingdoms, the Chaldean source of honor and pride, will be destroyed by God, just as Sodom and Gomorrah were. So why do we mention Sodom and Gomorrah? Because they are no more. Why do we talk about them? Because God destroyed them. So if you want to have the OG reference to you're going to be destroyed, you go to the OG reference, Sodom and Gomorrah. Not because they did more or more heinous things. They're just the first one. So, hey, Johnny Darko, welcome in. No one will live there again. No one will ever reside there again. No Bedouin will camp there. No shepherd will rest their flocks there. Okay, does this have to be taken literally? No. It's just talking about the greatness of the destruction. This is how you talk about it, how you emphasized it. Okay, I'll give you an example. Maybe you've not heard this one, but it was always one of my favorite ones. I'm going to hit you so hard your kids will come out dizzy. You understand what that means? It can't happen. It can't happen. But so they do the same thing. They have language that describes things in totality that doesn't have to be taken literally. It might sound like literal, but it can just be hyperbole there. You like that? You may use that, just some guy? You've not heard that one before? It used to be I guess maybe it's an ancient saying that isn't used anymore. But if you're old enough, if you had to defend yourself on the playground back in the 70s and 80s, that's what you would say to someone. I'm going to hit you so hard, your kids will come out dizzy. It might even be older than that. Wild animals will rest there. The ruined houses will be full of hyenas. Ostriches will live there. Wild goats will skip among the ruins. Wild dogs will yip in her ruined fortresses. Jackals will yelp in the once splendid palaces. I thought there was total destruction. How can they be in the palaces? Her time is almost up. Her days will not be prolonged. So, why are all of these the animals that are mentioned? Because these are not the animals that you control. You do not control hyenas. You do not control ostriches. They are not animals that you can control. Wild or jackals are like, and these also the hyenas, the jackals, the wild dogs are the ones that come at you, and they're gonna hound you to death, if nothing else. And they're gonna come in the night. The Lord will certainly have compassion on Jacob. He will again choose Israel as his special people and restore them to their land. Resident foreigners will join them and unite with the family of Jacob. So we've had the beforehand that they're going to go into destruction, and we have the poor mentioned. We have the widow. We have the orphan. We do not have foreigners mentioned, which is interesting because they are going to go become foreigners. And when they return to the land, then they're going to have foreigners who will reside among them. Nations will take them and bring them back to their own place. Then the family of Israel will make foreigners their servants as they settle in the Lord's land. They will make their captors captives and rule over the ones who oppressed them. When the Lord gives you relief from the suffering and anxiety and from the hard labor that you were made to perform, you will taunt the kings of Babylon with these words. So, you're going into captivity. You done messed up, Aaron, but hey, let me give you a clue. The people who are going to come do this to you all, they're going to get destroyed, and you'll return. And when you return, let me tell you what you're going to tell them. So, I love how this happens. Like, there's like this is what I always like, okay? When this is going to happen, and you know this, so that you can carry on through. So while you're dealing with the fact you're in the land, you already know that I can look back and say, it was told that we were going to have this happen. But you know what more? It was told we'll return. So I can look forward to that because what already had been told has come to pass. So that too will come to pass. That's the beauty of laying it out this way. What I never really liked was what we've gone through before of like Moses, of the proof that you will lead the people out of Egypt is when you lead them out of Egypt, you'll worship me on the mountain you're on right now. Well, that's not proof. It's not proof. Success afterwards isn't proof beforehand. At least I didn't used to think so. I do like that now. It feels more comforting. It's like, oh, yeah, because I know you've done stuff before. I know you'll do it again. So you saying what will happen afterwards actually now does bring comfort and hope. Like, well, it's got to come true because he said it's going to come true. So, anyway, what shall we say? Look how the oppressor has met his end. Hostility has ceased. The Lord has broken the club of the wicked, the scepter of rulers. It furiously struck down nations with unceasing blows. It angrily ruled over nations, oppressing them without restraint. The whole earth rests and is quiet. They break into song. The evergreens also rejoice over your demise, as do the cedars of Lebanon, singing, since you fell asleep, no woodsman comes up to chop us down. Weird song. Let's see what the footnote says. Lay down, laid to rest. The woodcutter has not come up against us. Okay. I wonder what the tune of that is. Is that to the tune of Mary Had a Little Lamb? Since you've... No, like, too many syllables doesn't work. Okay. Sheol below is stirred up about you, ready to meet you when you arrive. It rouses the spirits of the dead for you, all the former leaders of the earth. It makes all the former leaders of the nations rise from their thrones. All of them respond to you, saying, you too have become weak like us. You have become just like us. Your splendor has been brought down to Sheol, as well as the sound of your stringed instruments. You lie on a bed of maggots, with blankets of worms over you. Look how you have fallen from the sky, O shining one, son of the dawn. You have been cut down to the ground, O conqueror of nations. You said to yourself, I will climb up to the sky above the stars of hell. I will set up my throne. I will rule the mountain of assembly of the remote slopes of Zaphon. I will climb up to the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you were brought to Sheol, to the remote slopes of the pit. Those who see you stare at you, and they look at you carefully, thinking, is this man who shook the earth the one who made kingdoms tremble? Is this the one who made the world like a wilderness, who ruined its cities and refused to free his prisoners so that they could return home? As for all the kings of nations, all of them lie down in splendor, each in his own tomb, but you were thrown out of your grave, like a shoot that is thrown away. You lie among the slain, among those who have been slashed by the sword, among those headed for the stones of the pit, as if you were a mangled corpse. You will not be buried with them, because you destroyed your land and killed your people. The offspring of the wicked will never be mentioned again. Prepare to execute his sons for the sins their ancestors have committed. They must not rise up and take possession of the earth or fill the surface of the world with cities. I will rise up against you, says the Lord of heaven's army. I will blot out all remembrance of Babylon and destroy all her people, including the offspring she produces, says the Lord. I will turn her into a place that is overrun with wild animals and covered with pools of stagnant water. I will get rid of her just as one sweeps away dirt with a broom, says the Lord of heaven's armies. Whew, I can't keep doing that. I hope you're enjoying that. Oh, the poetry, love it. Yes, I'm trying. Yes, Monty Python voice is being heard. That's what I was going for. I'm glad somebody got that. That's what it was. But my jaw's hurting from the clinching of not enunciating words. I didn't realize I would hurt. I don't think I've ever done that voice for so long. My jaw's clenching there. Oh. Okay. But it did really sound, I thought it really sounded cool that way. If it makes you feel better, my cheeks are from smiling. Wow, this is a long one. It's just like, we're going to taunt you for showing up. We're going to taunt you because you're down here with us, all dead people. You thought you better than us? You thought you could get away? Who is Monty Python? Electropod, if that's a serious question, someone can help you out with that. If it's not, very funny. Very funny, my friend. It's an old British comedy group. Go away, or I shall taunt you a second time. Just a serious question. Yeah, they're a British comedy group back in this. Just but a scratch. Some of my favorite comedians is who that is. But if you don't know British humor, it's very, very interesting. Okay. Let me see if I can keep reading now. The Lord of Heaven's armies makes this solemn vow. Be sure of this. Just as I have intended, so it will be. Just as I have planned, it will happen. I will break Assyria. Oh, I guess this is the end of the other. I was trying to read that as the taunting. This feels like it's God's vow again, not them repeating God's vow. So I won't use that voice here. I'm not trying to use that voice for God. I was trying to use that for the taunters. Okay. Be sure of this. Just as I have intended, so it will be. Just as I have planned, it will happen. I will break Assyria in my land. I will trample them under my foot. Their yoke will be removed from my people. The burden will be lifted from their shoulders. This is the plan I have devised for the whole earth. My hand is ready to strike all nations. Indeed, the Lord of Heaven's armies has a plan, and who can possibly frustrate it? My hand is ready to strike, and who can possibly stop it? We are the knights who say, "Nee." We are now the knights who say, "Icky, icky, icky, whoop, tang." I probably have what they say now is wrong. Oh, what sad times these are when passers-by can say "nee" to old women at will. That might need to become a redeemed random Monty Python quote. Go. Who knew that Isaiah could be read in a Monty Python voice? Okay. This oracle came in the year that King Ahaz died. Okay, that's what I was looking for earlier. So the year that King Ahaz died is 715 around there BC. 715 BC, somewhere around there. So the northern kingdom is going to go away to Assyria in, well, I'd have to go back and look if it's 22 is when they're finally destroyed completely. So that's already happened. So the northern kingdom is gone when this message comes. So it is only to the southern kingdom, and it's in 715. And let's see, how many more years are we going until? Well, over 100 years. Over 100 years is going to pass before Josiah dies, and he's the last really established king. And after there's conquering of kings by Egypt and conquering of kings by Babylon, and then going into captivity begins and takes place over a period of time before they're finally destroyed. So, yeah, 100 years. 100 years before captivity starts, then another how many years before the destruction will come. Wade, welcome in. Rejoice, not thou whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be fiery flying serpent. Okay, that is an interesting translation. Do not be glad, O Philistia. Oh, okay. All of you, because of the rod that struck you is broken. For from the serpent's root a viper will come out, and its fruit will be a flying, fiery serpent. I don't know the LSB version. Okay, so we're right here. Do not be so happy, all you Philistines, just because the club that beat you is broken. Okay, slightly different. Martyr. I believe Palestine was the region that Rome had given for the region where Israel resides. I'd have to go look at the boundaries exactly. I don't know the origin of where Palestine as a group from the Roman name was given. it then later in history was returned as a name for that region prior to Israel being reestablished as a country by the UN after World War II. So it could have a root in the Philistines. I don't know if it does. But geographically, there's an overlap. So I don't know the answer of if the Romans named it because of the Philistines or not. I don't know where the Roman Latin word comes from. For a viper will grow out of the serpent's root, and its fruit will be a darting adder. Okay. The identity of this club serpent in the next line is uncertain. It may refer to the Assyrian king or to Ahaz. For discussion, go to Oswalt in Nikot. The viper adder reference to the second half of the verse is his successor. Okay, the Hebrews, flying burning one. The designation burning one may allude to the serpent's appearance or the effect of the poisonous bite. Qualifying flying probably refers to the serpent's quick darting movement. That might be a homophone here, meaning biting. Okay. The flying fiery dragon or the flying seraph. Flying burning ones. Okay. So all of those, yeah, Cobra Commander starts. The wings, the flying, like the hood, okay? It could just be simply saying the winged one, the flying one, because cobras have hoods. It could just be making sure that you know it's a cobra. It does, or it's trying to talk about an angelic level of this, that it's fighting against you. So anyway, I don't think it matters how we define that. It could be spiritual in nature, looking at the shining ones, the burning ones, and snakes, to think back all the way to the garden and the deception of that and how that's going to come about. Okay. The poor will graze in my pastures. The needy will rest securely, but I will kill your root by famine. I will put to death all your survivors. So interesting here. We have the stump of Jesse. Oh, we have ad break. Shoot, didn't see that coming. Let's go feed some fishies.
Streaming life by the reeds. Fish pond calm and glassy clear. View it all right from here. Dapper man with Saxon hand.
It's almost like they know that I was getting up because they were all waiting at the top. Like they knew that food was coming. Food was on the way. Let's go. Let's get some food.
Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flatcat pastor shows the
I'm
way.
hoping when I separate them to try to take out most of the least colorful ones and put them in a tank that, you know, that I don't have a cam on. But we'll have to wait and see.
Nature's beauty on a screen.
Okay.
See the ripple.
So what I was getting at there with the cobra and all of that, you know, going back to the Garden of Eden, going back to the serpent there, and then what was the root? That's what I'd switch. The serpent's root. So we have the stump of Jesse that will be restored, but the root of the tree is going to be destroyed. So if you have a stump, it means the root system is still in there. The ancestry is still intact. There could still be a lineage that could sprout out from the root or from the stump. But if you destroy the roots, if you totally destroy the roots, there is no one left. The whole tree is pulled up. Family tree. Thinking just of that image itself. Okay, that's what I was just going to add. The comparison there between the two, the parallels. One's going to have a sprout come from it, and the other's going to be destroyed. The poor will graze in my pastures. The needy will rest securely. I will kill your root by famine. It will be put to death, all your survivors. Wail, O city gate, cry out, O city. Why the city gate is going to wail? Why is the city gate? Because the city gate is going to see everybody coming and going. The city gate is going to be the only remnant left. It will have to be the one that can cry. The city gate is the prestige that protects you. The city gate, so you can imagine all the other things that happen. The city gate is also where justice is supposed to be declared. You know, because that's where the judgment would happen, is at the city gates. I know it's not the way we do things today, but that's how you would, in the city gates, it's people coming and going. That was the seat of where justice was supposed to be administered. And so they're just going to cry because justice didn't happen and destruction came. Cry out, O city, melt with fear, all you Philistines. For out of the north comes a cloud of smoke, and there are no stragglers in its ranks. How will they respond to the messengers of the nations? Indeed, the Lord has made Zion secure. The oppressed among his people will find safety in her. Okay, so we had destruction is going to come to all. So as you're going off to destruction, yes, Babylon's the one going to be taking you. But just so you know, when you come back, the Philistines will be taken care of. Oh, we're going to talk about Moab. We're going to go through a list of all of your surrounding enemies, and I'll let you know what's happening to them. This is the oracle about Moab. Indeed, in a night it will be devastated. Ar of Moab will be destroyed. So that is the mountain. Ar is the mountain. So the mountain is the pinnacle. The mountain is the place of the gods. The mountain. So the height of the prestige of Moab is destroyed. Indeed, in a night it is devastated. Ker of Moab is destroyed. What does Ker mean? Now that I want that Ar meant I know the meaning of Ar. Let's go look up what Ker means. So we need 15:1. Just since we're looking up Ker, let's go ahead. I'll show you R, but I know R. Megiddo. So R. Oh.
Strong's H 6144.
Just a different spelling. It says a city.
R. Gesenius Lexicon.
Let me look at this one.
R.
What? It must be a different spelling altogether. Yeah, I must be thinking of Aleph. So that's the problem when you transliterate. I've got a different word. So we looked it up, and it was the city of Moab. Moab's not a city. Why would you say city of Moab? That's city of Moab located south. Oh, they're just saying a city, but they don't know what the name means. Perhaps it's a capital. Okay, it's Ar on the Arnon River. Okay. Ker is wall. Ker is wall. Okay. So the capital, the prestige of it, so the mountain is the place of the worship, will be devastated. Oh, sorry, Ar, not the place of worship. The city, the prestige, the seat of government will be destroyed. The wall will be destroyed. Okay. They went up to the temple. The people of Dibon went up to the high places to lament because of what happened in Nebo and Medeba. Moab wails. Every head is shaved bare. Every beard is trimmed off. Okay, shaving of the head and the beard were outward signs of mourning and grief. Yes, but also they were humiliation. You humiliated people by shaving off their beard. You humiliated and shamed them by shaving off their heads and their beards. So, is this because of the torture and the shame placed on them, or is this grieving and mourning? I'm not sure. It says they wail, so Are they wailing in response to the shame that happened to them, or are they shaving their heads and trimming their beards in response to the wailing? Okay. I think it could go either way. In the streets, they wear sackcloth, and on the roofs of the town squares, all of them wail. They fall down weeping. Okay. In that context, we have lamenting before, we have lamenting after. Okay, so then it does in that context feel like it's just for remorse, for mourning and grief. This is why context matters. Let's go, keep going. The people of Heshbon and Eliel cry out. Their voices are heard as far away as Jahaz. For this reason, Moab soldiers shout in distress. Their courage wavers. My heart cries out because of Moab's plight. And for fugitives stretching out as far as Zoar, Egleth, Shalishiyah. For they weep as they make their way up the ascent of Luhith. They loudly lament their demise on the road to Horonaim. Lady Palace, how are you doing? How's your dad doing? Hope he's doing well. Hope you're doing well, friend. Still praying about job for you as well, friend. I don't know if you were here when I told some people I did apply to 3 churches last week. One said no, which was great to hear a response. One said, we've got a lot of applications, we'll let you know. And one I haven't heard from, but I knew that they had already started a round of things, so I didn't expect to hear anything from them. So that's where I'm at, and now I don't know what's next. Hi, he to know. Weird, just keeping quiet, do his own thing. But yeah, I'm just depressed and sad. I'm so sorry, friend. I'm so sorry about that. Oh, you know what? I don't know if this would work for you or not. Let me find this a second. Oh, wrong one. I thought I shared that. Oh, I did not apparently share that. Okay. Let me look this up a second. Well, anyway. This is more grief. Where is it at? There it is. I'll get there eventually. Okay, so let me find it a second. I had to go look up what the name is. I probably spelled it wrong. Okay, so my friend Stacy here has a group called Welcoming, a ministry called Welcoming Grief. So it's not entirely the same with depression, but there's other kinds of grief as well. So it's not and grief can lead to depression. So she's a grief companion. So if people are walking through grief, she's fantastic. I don't know if timing wise when her group meets or how she does all of that, but she's fantastic. So someone has need of just someone to talk about with grief stuff that you're dealing with, because I know sometimes grief does lead to other things going on in life. So I just wanted to share that. But you're in my prayers, friend. And I appreciate your willingness and openness in sharing struggles. Not everyone is. Okay. Yeah, if that's helpful, great. Like I said, she walks alongside people. She is not there to try to remove all of it. She's there to be with you, to be in the journey with you, and to help you in the journey. So, I just shared that with a bunch of people in the artisan market, because I had like someone whose dad died, someone whose grandmother died, and someone else who had another family member that died in like a week time. All three of them had someone that passed away. So my friend is really good at assisting in those kinds of situations. Yeah, there's been a bunch of that right now. So I don't know about the grandmother, if that was expected or not expected. The father had been dealing with cancer, was not doing well, went on hospice, and then passed away. And the other was a tragic accident. So, but I believe one was, I can't remember if one was Thursday or Sunday, but the other was Friday and Saturday. So it was like 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row, someone had a death in their family down there. So I've been trying to reach out to them as much as I can. Okay, back to Isaiah. So if you came in, we're in Isaiah 15, and we're in middle of oracles right now. So as Israel is going away, going to go away to captivity in 100 years, when you're there, here's promises that your neighbors are going to have some stuff too. Yeah, it is kind of intense, and so I've been reaching out to all of them and trying to help with things that are, well, their family doesn't know me either, and their family may not be willing to just go and talk to me. So I'm trying to put another friend in the mix there, because she does online stuff. So. But I feel like that's part of why I'm there, is to help with people in their journey. So I've been trying to do that. Okay. For the waters of Nimrim are gone. The grass has dried up. The vegetation has disappeared. There are no plants. For this reason, what they have made and stored up, they carry over the stream of the poplars. Wonder what that is. Indeed, the cries of distress echo through the Moabite territory. Their wailing can be heard in Eglam and Bir Elim. Indeed, the waters of Dimon are full of blood. Okay, what's the Dimon? Dibon instead of Dimon in this verse. Oh, the Qumran scrolls have a different name. Indeed, I will heap even more trouble on Dimon. I will place on Dimon added things. A lion will attack the Moabite fugitives and the people left in the land. Send rams as tribute to the ruler of the land, from Selah in the wilderness to the hill of daughter Zion. At the fords of Arnon, the Moabite women are like a bird that flies about when forced from its nest. Bring a plan, make a decision, provide some shade in the middle of the day, hide the fugitives. Do not betray the one who tries to escape. Please let the Moabite fugitives live among you. Hide them from the destroyer. Certainly the one who applies pressure will cease. The destroyer will come to an end. Those who trample will disappear from the earth. Oh, interesting. So Moab is going to flee to Jerusalem. Hide them. Take fugitives in. What? Let me go look at the footnote. What does the footnote say? Please let the Moabite fugitives live as resident foreigners. Yes. So the implication there is live among you. Hide them. So I've recently been seeing a lot of different things in regards to does the Bible say not to lie or not to deceive kind of things. And it seems to have a steady pattern of people's lives have more value than your words. You do not turn over people who are fugitives, who you are saving their lives. The Moabites are relatives. The Philistines are not. The Philistines got destroyed. They've always been your enemies. The Moabites, though, at times have been your enemies. They are your cousins, and they're part of the family. So when they come home to you, you help them out. You help them out. Yeah, you've noticed hiding. I love how that happens. Like you start to notice something, and then you start to see it places. Yes, the hiding of things, the hiding of people. The midwives hide the babies, or they don't get there in time. They're deceptive towards someone who's evil, towards an official of they're particularly Pharaoh. Here would be those seeking to destroy Moab. So Moab's going to get justice, but they're going to have a remnant that flees. You protect the remnant that flees. Then a trustworthy king will be established. He will rule in a reliable manner. This one from David's family. He will be sure to make just decisions and will be experienced in executing justice. We have heard about Moab's pride, their great arrogance, their boasting, pride, and excess. But their boastful claims are empty. So Moab wails over its demise. They all wail. Completely devastated, they moan about what has happened to the raisin cakes of Kir Hareseth. The raisin cakes could have cultic significance. Okay, that's interesting. Hiding. Nice emote. Nice emote. For the fields of Heshbon are dried up, as well as the vines of Shibmah. The rulers of the nations trample over all its vines, which reach Jazer and spread to the wilderness. Their shoots spread out and cross the sea. So I weep along with Jazer over the vines of Shibmah. Oh, wait. Weep with those who weep? That Jesus idea, not a new idea. It's in the Old Testament. I will saturate you with my tears, Heshbon and Eliel. For the conquering invaders shout triumphantly over your fruits and crops. Joy and happiness disappear from the orchards and in the vineyards. No one rejoices or shouts. No one treads out juice in the wine vats. I have brought the joyful shouts to an end. So my heart constantly sighs for Moab like a strumming harp. My inner being sighs for Kir Hareseth, the walls there. When the Moabites plead with all their might at their high places and enter the temple to pray, their prayers will be ineffective. So they're going to plead, they're going to cry out to their God, and they're going to get nothing. They're going to get nothing because, well, they can't get anything. There's nothing to receive. This is the message the Lord previously announced about Moab when the Lord made this announcement. Within exactly 3 years, Moab's splendor will disappear along with all her many people. There will be only a few insignificant survivors left. Interesting. What is the... In 3 years, like the years of a hired worker. Oh, the 3 years must be reckoned exactly just as a hired worker would carefully keep track of the time he had agreed to work for an employer in exchange for a predetermined wage. Oh, so this could just be saying they're the hired worker. That could be it. Or when this was given, so that you would know that when we're talking about the further down the road things, that they will certainly happen. We're giving you one that will happen in a short time that you can witness and say, well, if the one thing here happened, then I can trust the other things will happen. So, thief, Haruhiro. I want to know what God's will for my life to do, but I guess am just gonna try keep in mind what John Piper says in Desiring God. It's been some time since that book came out. I don't remember what exactly he says, but there's a lot of different views on God's will for people's lives, and there's different levels. Like, my will for my life is to be in relationship with God. But if I were to say God's will for me is to be a streamer. What if I suddenly could not talk? What if I suddenly could not see? How could I do that? So then God's will would be taken away. But if that's the will for my life, then how could it be taken away? So there's different levels of how do you see God's will. There could be, yes, God's called me to have an impact and to invest in online ministry in the Twitch sphere and space. But my calling has been to be a pastor. So I'm using that calling in various different ways along the way. Hope I'm making sense here. And if you can help me out with if that's Thief, or if that is just a funny spelling for thief, or Haruhiro. I hope I'm not saying that in a offensive way. I am not trying to. I'm trying to pronounce that correctly. But hey, I appreciate you coming in and asking. We certainly can pray around that, because I do think we want to seek after God's will. But I also think, for instance, God, in some cases, may call a particular person to a particular time and a particular place to do something. Like Jonah was called to go to Nineveh. And he does. And he does what he's called to do. Not joyfully, not directly, but he ends up doing it. Other times, as we see in the book of Esther, who knows, maybe God did put you in a place for such a time as this, but it's up to you to choose to act. And you can choose to act in that space and time. And if you don't, God will raise someone else up who will respond. So sometimes we do have the opportunity to, and sometimes if we don't, someone else will. And I don't think there's anything bad. And you know what? I don't think that everyone has to or should go be a pastor. Not everyone should do that. How do I know it's God's will for me? I spend time in His Word. I spend time in prayer. I spend time listening for God to lead and direct me. And sometimes I feel that the Holy Spirit is guiding and talking specifically to me. That's not the everyday thing, though. So I started a prayer booth down in my local artisan market. I wasn't like, oh, that's what I thought I should go do. Let me go do that because that sounds like fun. No, I was praying for 3 years about what could I do in my community, and that isn't being done, that there's a need. And as I sat in an event talking about how to be mission-minded in your community, the person was talking about doing a prayer ministry in the local jail. And I'm like, yeah, but I tried to go pursue being a chaplain in jail. God, you didn't let me do that. And then I felt like the Holy Spirit replied to that answer and said, yeah, but you can pray And you know the artisan market, so you can go do that in your community. You can go set a prayer booth up in, and it's like, it sounds like my voice, but it's not my thought. That's how sometimes I feel that God directs me. That's not every day. Okay? About streaming, I don't feel that same way. I felt that there was a leading to that. So like I say, God can lead and guide in different ways. And right now, as I'm trying to figure out what, like, because I'm there right now. Like, okay, so what I'm convinced of and have been affirmed in is I'm streaming online, reading the Bible. I'm connecting with other people who are Christians in the space. I'm connected with the church digital and helping out there. I do John 17:23 groups where I help put missionaries who might be digital online missionaries. You don't have to have full credentials. You're just doing the work of a missionary, or you're doing some kind of pastoral care for people. If you do have a degree, great. If you have credentials, great. But if you're doing those things, I try to help people be in groups, support groups to connect people. God's led me into those things and hasn't said to stop. He hasn't led me to something else. And as I'm doing some of these things, I'm conscious to say, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing these things. So if you want me to leave them, you have to make it clear that I'm supposed to leave these. So anything that I'm taking full time that would take away from this, God, you got to make it clear if that's what I'm supposed to do, or this has to be integrated in it. So, Yahweh Shema. The Lord is there, so God is present, or there in your life. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. What John Piper says is, like, it's based on your desire something, and if it's good to the world something. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So, like, God puts a desire on my heart, and I desire that way, and then I use that in the world. That makes sense. Whisper sent, you can check later. Okay, Gizmo. Hey, good to see you, K9. Hope you're having good. I caught you fishing the other day. I think you were towards the end of your stream, so you might not have seen me pop in, but I think you rated out to another fishing stream. So, good to see you. The other thing people will ask me is, how do you know it's the voice of the Holy Spirit? The way I describe how I hear it is, it sounds like it's my own voice in my own head. So it's not like an external voice that I hear. But it's not a thought that I often would go, oh, I want to do that. It's a thought that I have to wrestle with, and I will often describe it because I feel like it's honest to say it this way. I argue with the Holy Spirit because I need convincing of it, just like Moses at times. No, I'm not arrogant in saying that and saying, well, I want to argue. No, it's just like setting up a prayer booth and not having a job didn't sound like a fun thing to do. It didn't sound like a wise thing to do, but it felt like I have to do, and I need to do. Have to do, and oh, sorry about that. I got to figure out. To do. And oh, sorry about that. I got to figure out. To do. And oh, sorry about that. I got to figure out. To do. To mute everything to stop the loop from reoccurring. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got an echo chamber to stop the loop from reoccurring. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got an echo chamber to stop the loop from reoccurring. Why the heck do I suddenly have... I did open something, but the thing I opened should not have audio coming through it. So it was just weird. Like, why? Because I opened up the what do you call it? Oh, I see why. I'm actually not on the page I thought I was. I thought I was opening up. I see the problem. Okay. What the heck? That's not what I wanted to open up. I thought I had the creator dashboard open. I actually had my channel open. So I was trying to open up my stream manager a second and look at my stream manager, and it was actually on my channel. That was the problem. So, and that tab was not muted. So, all right. Problem solved. Yeah, sorry about that. It's like, okay, as soon as the echo started, I'm like, oh, I know it's not going to end until I mute everything. And then I thought, oh, I'll mute everything. But then it was started. So why it wasn't playing to begin with, because when I made it small again. Anyway, welcome in, Sunshine. Hope you're doing well. It's like what you get when you call a radio station on the phone. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it does the loop thing too. How it'll just keep looping. That's what, like, I realized it. I had to mute it, but then I was like, I made it small. Why it didn't go back to silent, I don't know. That I don't know. Anyway, if you want to ask more on God guiding you, I think that God guides people in different ways too. So what God might do for me may not be the same way that he guides you. One thing that does at times happen is someone may plant the seed of something for you to do, and then someone else will water the seed of something for you to do, and then later on you'll do it. Also, I do think, like, yeah, you can say, what is it that I love doing? So I have a friend who has a barbecue church. That sounds weird to you. That's okay. He talks about barbecue all the time. He has a Facebook post about barbecue all the time. He goes to barbecue cook-offs all the time. And what he has is a church of those people that love barbecue. They have a Facebook group. They have messages that they give out to that group of people in the barbecue community. He's taking the thing that he loves and serving God right where he's at. So that's one way that it happens. That's not the way it's happened for me. So, Jazzy me. I'm excited. I finally caught the stream. Well, thank you, friend. So excited. That's what it is. I'm so excited. Jazzy me, where have you seen me before? Where have we connected? Because if it's not been here, it's got to be somebody else's stream. So, glad to have you here. One reason. Okay. Cool. It happened to be yesterday. So I've got two mugs here. And I'm tatting them up. No, I'm stickering them up. Still have some empty spaces there. Oh, let me show you the sticker I just got. Okay, I'm trying to hold it so you can read it. There's a reflection there. Okay, so find community wherever you are is what it says over and over again. So all the three different things there. That's Imagine Church sent me some swag. So my friend I was sharing with earlier, Stacy, and Mel. Yeah, Mel, who's in the chat, are members of Imagine Church. And they're celebrated 5 years. They started as a digital church, and they celebrated 5 years. But they also have merged with an IRL church now, and the IRL church was celebrating 100 years. If I get any of this wrong, Mel, correct me. Celebrating 100 years on Sunday. So, as a person that had attended Imagine Church, I got a swag box, and so I love the stickers. I got one on the back of my laptop. I got one on my mug here. Oh, it fits so perfect too. It fits so perfect. If you can see where that slipped in down here in between and over there, I love how that slipped in there. Really, really nice. And then you can see it says Imagine Church. It's reflecting really bad. Imagine Church. There we go. You can hopefully see that. So that's and then I got on my luggage as well, and then I got a cap, and then there's a notepad, which was a really cool notepad, and several pens to take notes with. I don't know if I'll use the notepad, but it's cool, and I'm gonna sticker up everything I can. So I love having the swag. I needed to bring more stickers when I went to ReachCon, but some of us were like, I don't know if I dare ask and I dare exchange stickers with people or not. I think next year what we need is just a swag table, and we can all exchange, do some stuff like that. That'll be fun. Okay. Anyway, if we still do want to, do they stay on with washing the tumbler? Gizmo. I wash these by hand. So I do not put them in the dishwasher. But it depends on the quality of the sticker. Like, I bought some stickers for my artisan market. There's my friend's sticker from the artisan market. You cannot read that anymore. So her sticker was cheaper quality than my sticker. And then some of these, like these metallic ones, those will be totally good. And then some of these have more plastic on them. So I need to get better quality stickers than I had and go the plastic shiny route and spend more money. But you had a Zoom unboxing party on Sunday. So I know I was hoping to good morning. Okay, cockroach. Welcome in. I was hoping to join that, and I did not make it. So I sent at least pictures, and I did see the pastor noticed my pics as well. So anyway, we were talking about how do you know God's leading. If other people have different ways that God has led you, jump in the chat with those, because the way that God interacts with me isn't always the same and isn't always the same way that it is for other people. So in much of ministry, it seems like one door was open and that was it. And I chose to go through that door. Right now, I don't know which direction I'm supposed to go. Am I supposed to go back into a physical church for a season? Am I supposed to stay fully online? I'm exploring opportunities and see if God opens the door further. So I have been invited to do pulpit supply for VR MMO church. I'm working towards that so that I feel comfortable being able to do it. I hung out in VR for the first time in their church service on Sunday. I've been in their service in 2D before, not with the VR headset. So I hung out in the VR headset on Sunday for their church service for the first time. I'm hoping to hang out with them. They got an event at 2 o'clock and rec room and play around a little bit more. But I need to get comfortable in that space before I could spend any time teaching and preaching in there. But I don't know if I'm called to that. I don't know where I'm called to be. So I'm asking those questions myself, friend. The Imagine stickers I've had in the past have held up to the years of hand washing. Yeah. I don't know. I would trust anything with a dishwasher safe on a sticker. Just don't think I would. Okay. Anybody that came in and was just while I was talking, we are trying to read through the book of Isaiah. And so we are in chapter 17 is where we're at. So there have been pronouncements that Judah is going to be taken away to Babylon. And this is starting to happen, like the pronouncements start 100 years before it's going to happen. So along the way, there are pronouncements also that Babylon will be destroyed. Well, Babylon hasn't taken you yet. So in order to validate those long-term ones, there are judgments against surrounding nations that are going to happen sooner. so that you can witness them and trust that everything else that's said is also going to come true. All right, so we're going to have another oracle now against Damascus, and Damascus is another way of talking about the Assyrians, or up north, Syria. So, okay. This is an oracle about Damascus. Look, Damascus is no longer a city. It is a heap of ruins. So notice I was talking about it in the past tense, though it's saying it's going to happen. The cities of Aurora are abandoned. They will be used for herds, which will lie down there in peace. Fortified cities will disappear from Ephraim, and Damascus will lose its kingdom. The survivors in Syria will end up like... Sorry, I was distracted by a thought in my head. The survivors in Syria will end up like the splendor of the Israelites, says the Lord of heaven's armies. At that time, Jacob's splendor will be greatly diminished, and he will become skin and bones. It will be as when one gathers the grain harvest and his hands glean the ears of grain. It will be like one gathering the ears of grain in the valley of Rephaim. There will be some left behind, and when an olive tree is beaten, 2 or 3 ripe olives remain toward the very top, 4 or 5 on its fruitful branches, says the Lord of Israel. At that time, men will trust in their Creator and will depend on the Holy One of Israel. Gaze towards their Maker. His eyes will look toward the Holy One of Israel. Okay, so we got parallel here of different ways of talking about God. I like using Creator, Maker, similar. Creator seems more modern way to say the Maker. They will no longer trust in the altars their hands have made and depend on the Asherah poles and the incense altars their fingers made. Let me just go back up. I was thinking that this was towards... it's not giving me a Damascus reference there. Okay. I was thinking that was saying towards Syria, but maybe it's towards the northern kingdom there first, because they're going to return. So Assyria wouldn't. So I guess it's Damascus here. I'm used to saying Samaria, not Damascus, for the northern kingdom. At that time, the fortified cities will be like the abandoned summits of the Amorites, which they abandoned because the Israelites. There will be desolation. For you ignore the God who rescues you. You pay no attention to your strong protector. You need to go, but thanks for the stream and Imagine mention. Yeah, absolutely. Are you planning on going to the well today, Mel? Or you just got other things you're doing today? I appreciate whenever you stop in. Protector, the rocky cliff of your strength. You do not remember. No, taking a kid to the doctor. Okay. Well, blessings on that. Lucis, I have had a nagging, uncomfortable feeling to go to a certain Twitch stream. And even though I don't want to go, the feeling won't stop because I resist it. But once I go there, then it stops. I believe it's God's way of telling me to go to that stream. Oh, Lucis, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that's a very specific one. Very specific one. So in a momentary thing. So that's is the leading of the Holy Spirit, which may not be a calling for life, but it's a responsive way of talking about things. So in that regard, I had this happen a couple of times during COVID, where I went to go. Well, it happened once, and I was like, "What?" And then it happened again. I was like, "Okay, I know I'm supposed to do it." So I don't ever carry cash on me. I have not carried cash for years. The only reason I have started to have cash in my house is because kids coming to sell stuff at the door sometimes only take cash. So I want to buy any kid that comes to my house, I'll buy from you. I just believe that that is a thing I should do because I was that kid that went door to door trying to achieve things. Go door to door is a difficult thing to do. I want to reinforce kids' strength and courage in doing that. So you come to my door, I buy from you. Just a ground rule. So I have cash in order to do that. I was leaving to go to my mom's house, which if those who hang out know, it's 5 hours away. And I heard the Holy Spirit say, take that cash with you. And I'm like, what? Like, why? What do you? And that was it. Like, nothing else. So I'm like, fine, I'll take the cash. So I don't know what it was. I just grab it, put it in my pocket. And I get to the gas station, and I'm filling my gas tank before I drive 5 hours. I'm filling my tank up. And I don't normally go inside. But I was like, I got to drive. I need to get something to drink. I'll just go inside and buy something. But before I did, while I'm pumping, I noticed a dad who's not from the area. I could tell, we had a lot of tourists. I could tell it was a tourist in town or someone that wasn't from town. And he was letting his daughter, help him with the gas or whatever. And he's trying to do his card thing. I noticed that when I'm going to walk in. And I'm hemming and hawing because I can't make up my mind of what I want to drink. So I'm looking in the cooler. I decide on something. I'm walking up the cash register. I see Dad come really fast, coming up to the cash register, followed by daughter who's there. Dad doesn't speak very good English, but I'm listening to it because I was just approaching, and then he put the gift card in that he had for the gas station, and he was letting his daughter pump gas, which I already said, but she's never pumped gas before. So when she picked up the handle and the nozzle stuck, she dropped it, and it went back down. So it took all the money off the card, and then it registered the sale, but he got no gas. So the person can't, it'll get refunded. It took the money before you pumped. You pumped something, it completed sale. There's no money. This is, I want to say, on Saturday. So it's going to take until there's a business day to be able to process, and then 24 hours from the business. He might get his money back on Tuesday. And I think it was $20 was on what was on the gift card he's trying to get gas. So reach in my pocket. I got a $20 bill. Walk over to the counter, and I go, here, let me take care of that for you. And he's like, you sure? Yeah, let me take care of that for you. And the guy behind the counter is like, you sure? Yeah, let me take care of that for you. I said, I was leaving the house today, and I heard God say to me, take that cash with you. And I'm like, why do I need to take the cash? So I did, and this must be what I was supposed to take it for. So here, let me take care of that for you. So he goes and he pumps his gas, and I never see him again. But I got to tell the story to the cashier. I get to tell the story to other people, and that guy got a blessing. That was awesome. So I can tell you more stories, but then it was like, okay, when the Holy Spirit said, take cash, I did. Now I go, do I have cash, and should I bring it with me? Because, I need to help. Pop Taterhead, I don't think I asked you my poll question last week. What is your favorite book of the Bible to read? Message was deleted by Mod. Must be trying to get me to sign up for something. That's usually the one. Like, hey, do you need viewers? No, I don't need viewers. Viewers that I want to be here. That's a hard question on favorite book of the Bible, because I like a lot of them, and because if you're going with Gospels, I can't pick between them because they're all good in different ways. Ephesians has been a highlight in my life in many places. I love Jonah and I love Esther. They're amazing. Job has become one of my favorite books in the last 5 years. And Leviticus. I love Leviticus. I'm that weird person that loves the Levitical law and the coming to God and the order and the structure, because the priests are called to represent God in the world. The nation is called to be a nation of priests, so that they're the model is what is shown. The people are supposed to duplicate, and the rest of the world is supposed to be drawn to you. So I have a hard time picking a favorite. It's kind of like when you have a bunch of kids. Which one's your favorite? You're not supposed to have a favorite. But Genesis and Exodus are amazing too, so. I think probably Proverbs for me for now, even though I hadn't really read it, but just seeing the verses, that's a lot now. Yeah. Proverbs is a great place to dwell. I probably would have said that would have been something that was a favorite of mine 30 years ago, was probably Proverbs. Jonah and Esther have always been in there. Romans for you? Yep, a lot of people like Romans. I really like Ephesians, the building up of the body, the building up of each other, things done for the edification of others. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, there's so many badass Proverbs. Yeah, that's true. As I was saying earlier, Isaiah and Jeremiah are probably my least two favorite books. Straight up. They're my least favorites. So, like, you had to roll dice, but the Lord determined it. Oh, yeah. Yep. All right. Let's go back to the text. Just looking and going, how close are we to a break? But for you ignore the God who rescues you. You pay no attention to your strong protector. Oh, that's what I was looking up. It's just Rocky Cliff there. I was wondering if it was something else. So this is what happens. You cultivate beautiful plants and plant exotic vines. The day you begin cultivating, you do what you can to make it grow. The morning you begin planting, you do what you can to make it sprout. Yet the harvest will disappear in the day of disease and incurable pain. Beware, you many nations massing together, those who make a commotion as loud as roaring of the sea's waves. All right. No hat. Maybe I can fix that hair that's been bugging me. No, it's still there. Like, it's just like sticking out today. I don't know. Beware the people making such an uproar. Those who make an uproar as loud as the roaring of powerful waves. Though these people make an uproar as loud as the roaring of powerful waves, when he shouts at them, they will flee to a distant land. Driven before the wind like dead weeds on a hill, or like dead thistles before a strong gale. In the evening there is sudden terror. By morning they vanish. This is the fate of those who try to plunder us, the destiny of those who try to loot us. Beware, land of buzzing wings, the one beyond the rivers of Cush. Okay, so God will judge a distant land in the south. The significance of the phrase buzzing wings is uncertain. Some suggest the designation points to Cush as a land of many insects. Another possible is that it refers to the swiftness with which the Lord's messengers travel. They move over the sea with swiftness as an insect flies through the air. Okay, so there's a discussion, and they keep going in. He must have a really good section on Isaiah that they keep going in. Land of buzzing wings. I'm just thinking, does it have to be insects? But buzzing would, I think, imply that. Don't know. Why did it suddenly switch there? Okay. The one that lies beyond the river Cush. I don't know. I could speculate more, but I don't think I will. My fairies! Go Teddy. The buzzing wings is fairies, maybe? Yeah, I'm gonna say maybe not. Maybe not. That sends messengers by sea who glide over the water surface in boats made of papyrus. Go, you swift messengers, to the nations of tall, smooth-skinned people, to the people that are feared far and wide, to a nation strong and victorious, whose land rivers divide. All you who live in the world, who reside on the earth, you will see a signal flag raised on the mountains. You will hear a trumpet being blown. Okay, so depending on how the structure is going, these are ways that you would signal. You would have a trumpet that would go. You would have a flag that would go. You see these in different movies and shows where people actually use these things. You signal fire sometimes too. You are trying to communicate across long distances to give as much warning as you can, or bring as much terror as you can. So I don't think these have to be literal. That you go make a warning, or go pronounce that the destruction is coming. For this is what the Lord has told me. I will wait and watch for my place, like scorching heat produced by the sunlight, like a cloud of mist in the heat of harvest. For before the harvest, when the bud has sprouted and the ripened fruits appear, he will cut off the unproduced shoots with pruning knives. He will prune the tendrils. They will all be left for the birds of the hills and the wild animals. That's interesting, for the birds of the hills, because when I cut down a bunch of twigs, the birds like to go make nests with them. The birds will eat them in the summertime, and the wild animals will eat them during the winter. At that time, tribute will be brought to the Lord of Heaven's armies by the people that are tall and smooth-skinned, a people that are feared far and wide, a nation strong and victorious, whose land rivers divide. 16. Yeah, it's just a repetition of the other one. The tribute will be brought to the place where the Lord of Heaven's army has chosen to reside on Mount Zion. So they're going to be judged, and the tribute's coming in from there. This is an oracle about Egypt. And the hat is back. Okay. This is an oracle about Egypt. Look, the Lord rides on a swift-moving cloud and approaches Egypt. Okay. Coming on the clouds. There's several different places where that imagery happens in the Old Testament. So this is the personification of God's chariot is the clouds. So if you don't know that imagery, Egypt is the chariot nation. They're the ones who get the prestige of having the chariots, fighting on chariots, all of that stuff. So when God's going to move against them, he's coming in his chariot to fight them on their terms, so to speak. The idols of Egypt tremble before him. The Egyptians lose their courage. I will provoke civil strife in Egypt. Brothers will fight with one another, as will neighbors, cities, and kingdoms. The Egyptians will panic, and I will confuse their strategy. They will seek guidance from the idols and from the spirits of the dead, from the pits used to conjure up underworld spirits, and from magicians. Okay, just having a thought here. This is how God is describing his judgment against a big, powerful nation. Should this make us nervous in any country, that if civil unrest and strife is provoked, if people are fighting brother against brother and against neighbors, and cities and kingdoms within fighting each other, maybe we should pause. Maybe we should pause in regards to that. I don't know. Just saying, not saying we're God's nation, and that, because Egypt wasn't either. So this was just like, hey, you're far away from me. I'm going to cause this to stir up within you. You can destroy yourself from within. That's not a lovely thought. I will hand over Egypt over to a harsh master. A powerful king will rule over them, says the sovereign Lord of heaven's armies. The waters of the sea will be dried up, and the river will be dried up and be empty. The canals will stink because it's going to be stagnant water. The streams of Egypt will trickle and then turn dry. The bulrushes and the reeds will decay, along with the plants by the mouth of the river. All the cultivated land near the river will turn to dust and be blown away. The fishermen will mourn and lament. All those who cast a fish hook into the river and those who spread out a net on the water surface will grieve. Those who make clothes from combined flax will be embarrassed. Those who weave will turn pale. Those who make clothes will be demoralized. All the hired workers will be depressed. The officials of Zoan are nothing but fools. Pharaoh's wise advisors give stupid advice. How dare you say to Pharaoh, I am one of the sages, one well versed in the writings of the ancient kings. But where are the wise men? Let them tell you. Let them find out what the Lord of Heaven's armies has planned for Egypt. The officials of Zoan are fools. The officials of Memphis are misled. The rulers of her tribes led Egypt astray. The Lord has made them undiscerning. They lead Egypt astray in all she does, so that she is like a drunk sliding around in his own vomit. Egypt will not be able to do a thing. Head or tail, shoots or stalk. Okay, what is that? And there will not be for Egypt a deed which head or tail, shoot or stalk can do. The phrase head or tail refer to the leaders and prophets, respectively. The introspective makes good sense in this context where both leaders and advisors, probably including prophets and diviners, are mentioned. Here in 9:14, shoot or stalks, picture a reed which symbolizes the leadership of the nation in its entirety. Okay, so the shoot or the stalk being the strength of the leadership. Okay, I didn't know what that reference was. At that time, the Egyptians will be like women. They will tremble and fear because the Lord of heaven's armies brandish his fist against them. The land of Judah will humiliate Egypt. Everyone who hears about Judah will be afraid because of what the Lord of heaven's armies is planning to do to them. So this is interesting. So there's a pronouncement that the Lord of heaven's armies is going to embarrass and humiliate Egypt. We do not yet have Josiah. We do not yet have Josiah in the picture. I wonder if Josiah, because Josiah is killed fighting Egypt. Egypt was coming. He goes out to fight Egypt. He ends up dead. I wonder if Josiah saw himself as going to humiliate Egypt. I still think he should have inquired of God before going. He ends up dead. But I wonder if he was thinking, let me go fulfill that. Let me go fulfill that. Well, you didn't. You did not. At that time, 5 cities in the land of Egypt will speak the language of Canaan and swear allegiance to the Lord of heaven's armies. One will be called the city of the sun. At that time, there will be an altar for the Lord in the middle of the land of Egypt, as well as a sacred pillar dedicated to the Lord at its border. Okay, so this is a fascinating reversal. So what have the people of Israel been doing in the land? They have been putting up the Asherah poles and the high places to worship other gods. And God's like, I'm going to reverse this. You're to go into a foreign land and set up a sacred pillar dedicated to me in their place, an altar in the middle, and the sacred pillar when you come in. So when you come in the border, you're going to go, hey, is that a pillar to Yahweh? I thought this was, the Pharaoh, Egyptian land, but apparently he's here too. He's here too. It will become a visual reminder in the land of Egypt, the Lord of heaven's armies, when they cry out to the Lord because of the oppression, he will send them a deliverer and defender who will rescue them. The Lord will reveal himself to the Egyptians, and they will acknowledge the Lord's authority at that time. They will present they will present sacrifices and offerings. They will make vows to the Lord and fulfill them. The Lord will strike Egypt, striking and then healing them. They will turn to the Lord, and he will listen to their prayers and heal them. This is fascinating. So Egypt has previously seen all the plagues. All this destruction is happening around. God's going to come in, prove his authority, establish his authority, and Egypt's going to turn to God. That's amazing. At that time, there will be a highway from Egypt to Assyria. The Assyrians will visit Egypt, and the Egyptians will visit Assyria. The Egyptians and the Assyrians will worship together. At that time, Israel will be the third member of the group, along with Egypt and Assyria, and will be a recipient of blessing in the earth. The Lord of heaven's armies will pronounce a blessing over the earth, saying, "Blessed be my people, Egypt, and the work of my hands, Assyria, and my special possession, Israel." Wow, that's fascinating. Nanaki. I hope I got that right. Nanaki 115. Thank you for the lurk, my friend. Thank you for the lurk. I'm trying to think, does this ever happen? Does this ever fully get fulfilled? Now, if I want to go to, and I don't want to just jump to Jesus as fulfillment of this. Okay, does it get fulfilled anywhere before there? Is there highways? Well, the Romans build roads, and the Greeks come and conquer, but they're not following and worshiping God in all of those spaces. Yet there are Jews who do go down into Israel, and there would have been some in the dispersion up above. So is that the fulfillment when the roads are established and you can travel between there, and there are Jews in all those places worshiping God? The nations aren't, so I don't know if that's a fulfillment or not. But I'd like to say there's at least a partial fulfillment in that time and place. Fascinating. So the Lord revealed the following message during the year in which King Sargon of Assyria sent his commanding general to Ashdod. Don't know when that was. And he fought against it and captured it. At that time, the Lord announced through Isaiah, son of Amos. So notice he's always getting Dad's name in here, making sure we know which Isaiah it is. "Go remove the sackcloth from your waist and take your sandals off your feet." He did as instructed and walked around in undergarments and barefoot. So take the sackcloth off and take your sandals off. He wasn't told to put anything else on. He took that literally. Take my garment off? Great. Take your shoes off? He did. 3. The word used for aram sometimes means naked, but here it appears to mean simply lightly dressed, stripped to one's undergarments. So, could be fully naked. Probably not. Probably not. Later, the Lord explained in the same way that my servant Isaiah has walked around in undergarments and barefoot for the past 3 years as an object lesson and omen pertaining to Egypt and Cush. So he's walking around for 3 years in no clothes. Like, that's an object lesson. So the king of Assyria will lead away the captives of Egypt and the exiles of Cush. So Assyria is going to be the one conquering that was told up above. Both young and old. They will be in undergarments and barefoot with their buttocks exposed. The Egyptians will be publicly humiliated. Those who put their hopes in Cush and took pride in Egypt will be afraid and embarrassed at that time. They will live on this coast, will say, "Look what happened to our source of hope. to whom we fled for help, expecting to be rescued from the king of Assyria. How can we escape now? North Hill, welcome in, friend. So, those who are going down to Egypt to escape Assyria from the land are going to get captured. And Egypt is going to turn to its neighbor Cush to defend against Assyria, and Assyria is going to knock everybody out. They're going to lay the smack down, is what they're going to do. Okay, I got an ad break coming in a minute or so, so I just want to look at what 21 is. Not going to start it. Just scrolling down to check some stuff out. Okay. Hey, Northfield, as you're coming in, we're in Isaiah, and I know there's different divisions of Isaiah that people have, like first Isaiah, second Isaiah, third Isaiah. Just wondering if you happen to know where those breaks are. I don't know off the top of my head, but Woofler, hey, little buddy, welcome in. Good to see you, old man. Lurking for days. Hey, Lucis, yeah, get a shout out for North Hill and Woofler. If you're not following Woofler, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life if you're not following Woofler and North Hill? I mean, how can you make it through your month without throwing a lurk over there once in a while? I mean, I wish my life wasn't so busy I could be there all the time. But life's got to happen sometimes, you know? Oh, dude, man, we need to hang again. We haven't hung in a while. We need to get that on the calendar. October. Do not let October go, and we don't hang out. Yeah, we need to pray together. Exactly, man. It has been too long. It totally has. This year has been crazy with all kinds of stuff. So I think ads should be coming. So we'll go to fish when that happens. MC Wolfcat. Second Isaiah starts at 40. Okay, thanks. That's what I was wondering. Discord message right now. Thank you, friend. Fred, let's feed some fishies. That's a up close one there.
Streaming life by the reeds. Fish pond calm and glassy clear. View it all right from here. Dapper man with sax in hand plays tunes by his quiet land. Acoustic guitar in the breeze serenades the fish with ease. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flatcat Pastor shows the way. Stream it live, come what may. With his cam he shows it all. Little fish, both big and small.
Northville, I'm not sure if you have
so serene,
ads or not, so
on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow.
but I'll answer that when I get back. But I wanna, so there's the feed in frenzy, but I wanna look at the other fish. I wanna check that out. So it's rainy today. Yeah, not gonna be much of a view there today. Camera's wet.
To the rhythm of his song.
Oh, nice and calm today. Yesterday was a bit wavy. It does look cloudy though. And I just fed the guppies as well, so I figured let's go peek at the guppies. You can see Wywis hanging in the back there. So Wywis is the albino Progostomus in the back room there, or the back of the room there, back of the tank. How's you today? Thanks for stopping by. Oh, that was fun stopping by. I haven't seen you in a while, MC Wolfcat. So I did stop by. It was fun to see you watch two streams simultaneously with two people who are streaming together. That was fun. I'm doing well. Things are going good. I just don't know everything I'm supposed to be doing because I need some income and I gotta figure that out. I don't know if it's push into streaming and push hard and maybe fundraise as a missionary who is digital, or if it's work with churches IRL to I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm trying to figure that out. So I think ads should be close to done if you add ads. So The Guppy tank there is, I want to say a 50-gallon tank. I believe that's a 50-gallon tank. It's 45 or 50. Maybe it's only a 40. It might only be a 40-gallon tank. It might only be a 40-gallon tank for the Guppies. The one back here with the koi is a 70-gallon tank, I believe. I've got another tank that's somewhere around 80 gallons maybe, but it's got a hole in it, so I don't know if that's going to leak or not. They used it for putting their filter system through instead of through the top. So I've got that one to set up. And then I got the pond, which is, 5,000 gallons maybe. Not sure. Not sure what that is. And then the lake is not mine, but it's big. Okay. The Lord will judge Babylon. So I don't know if I want to go further. I just want to highlight and look. So this is because we went through 20. That feels really good. So this is back to Babylon. This is news for Seir. This is Arabia. And then God will judge Jerusalem. Okay, let's do one more chapter, because then we're going back to Jerusalem. I want to spend more time on Jerusalem. I'm not so, and then we're going back to Tyre. Okay, let's do one more chapter, and then we're going to call it a day. And ask questions along the way. And those that came in, we were asking earlier questions on how do you know God's leading and God's guidance in your life. And I talked about sometimes it's clear. And it is go here and do this, like the call of Jonah is go to Nineveh and preach. It's that clear. Sometimes it's obvious and it is God's will and you know that. And other times it's not. Other times it's more like go to the land that I will show you. Or when you bring the people out, this is what you'll do. It's more vague and not quite clear. Or it's we didn't talk about this one, but it's like Paul, like I'm trying to go to here and here and here, and the way keeps being blocked, and then suddenly there's a vision that comes of the Macedonian man saying, hey, you can come over here, and so then we prayed about it, and we followed through on it, and then we figured it out, and then we started pursuing that. So God does things in many, many, many different ways. So just thinking, I'm going to show you this a minute, because maybe you don't believe that there's people around. But there's a person strolling the beach.
Flat cap past the rocks is
And the cams, or
streaming like
they're designed actually as security cams. So if I'd have seen them closer, I could have took the microphone on and yelled at them, which would be fun and make them jump perhaps, because I don't think my mom ever does that. But okay, one more chapter, and we'll be moving on for the day. Okay, this is the oracle about the wilderness by the sea. So what is that going to tell us? The wilderness by the sea. The phrase is quite cryptic. Thank you. Thank you. Verse 9 seems to indicate that the message pertains to Babylon. Southern Mesopotamia was known as the sea land in ancient times because of its proximity to the Persian Gulf. Okay. Perhaps the reference to Babylon as a wilderness foreshadows the destruction that overtake the city. Could be. Like strong winds blowing in the south or in the Negev. See, if it's in the Negev and then the wilderness by the sea, I would be going back up to the Philistines. That would be where my brain is going. One invades from the wilderness, from the land that is feared. I have received a distressing message. A severe relation has been related to me. That's weird. A severe relation has been related to me. Revelation. Oh, that makes more sense. A severe revelation has been relayed to me. The deceiver deceives. The destroyer destroys. Attack you Elamites. Lay siege you Medes. Okay, So being the Medes, yep, that would put that back to Babylon. So they were ahead here. That points to that. I think that's because I don't think the Medes really go over and attack the Philistines. Okay, but here's an interesting thing. So the deceiver deceives, the destroyer destroys. Okay, yeah, that's what they do. But you should have an echo of Genesis in your mind. You should have an echo of Genesis. The reason you probably don't is because of English translations. So if you go back and you read the translation of creation in Genesis 1, it says, let teeming things teem and let swarming things swarm. So the activity of which an animal is described by is what it's called to do. So let the swarming things swarm. And I believe the sea is the teeming thing. So the sea needs to be teeming with teeming things. And the teeming things need to teem. So destroyers out there, get your destruction on. Start destroying. Of course, that's what they do. Deceivers, start your deception. Let's go. Let's get ready to rumble. Yeah, it's got that kind of like thing. Like, of course, that's what they do. So you're going to do that. And you're going to lose. Because that's what you do. Okay, maybe you don't have that ringing in your ear. That's what's ringing in my head right now with that idea. Lay siege, you Medes. I'll put an end to all the groaning. Like, okay, you're groaning about all the destruction happening. Let's just, peace keeps starting, peacekeeping. Yes, there we go. Peace keeps start, peacekeeping. Yep, there we go. Yes, peacekeepers start peacekeeping. Yep. I know sometimes the fingers, they don't work as our brains do. Sometimes our mouth don't work as our brains do neither. For this reason, my stomach churns, cramps overwhelm me like the contractions of a woman in labor. I am disturbed by what I hear, horrified by what I see. My heart palpitates, I shake in fear. The twilight I desired has brought me terror. Arrange the table, lay out the carpet, eat and drink. Get up, you officers, smear oil on the shields, for this is what the Lord has told me. Your brain today. Yeah, yesterday I called adults all dots. That sounds right to me. My fingers do the wrong typing all the time. And then my mouth does the wrong speaking too. For this is what the Lord has told me. Go, post a guard. He must report what he sees. What he sees? When he sees chariots, teams of horses, riders on donkey, riders on camels. He must be alert, very alert. Then the guard cries out, oh, the watchtower, oh Lord, I stand all day long at my post. I am stationed every night. Look what's coming, a charioteer, a team of horses. When questioned, he replied, Babylon has fallen. Okay, so clearly this is all of Babylon. We had a Medes, now we have the Babylon, so then their reference to the south, they were basing it on information coming later. I like to let the text reveal itself. All the idols of her God lie shattered on the ground. Oh, my downtrodden people, crushed like stalks and on the threshing floor. What I have heard from the Lord of heaven's army, the God of Israel, I have reported to you. This is the oracle about Duma. Duma means silence. Oh, this is the oracle about silence. But here it is a proper name, probably referring to a site in the northern Arabia or the nation of Edom. If Duma was an area in northern Arabia, it would be of interest to the Edomites because of its strategic position on trade routes which they used. Okay. This is an oracle about silence. I'm just saying, even if it's a place, that's hilarious. Someone comes to me from Seir, so that's why we're going to Edom. Edom, Seir is another name referring to Edom. Watchman, what is left of the night? Watchman, what is left of the night? The watchman replies, morning is coming, but then night. If, if you want to ask, come back again. That is a weird reply. Morning is coming, but then night. If you want to ask, come back again. This is what the oracle about it. So that is just weird. Like, night is coming. It's almost day. Weird. Why this little intersection? So we probably have a chiastic structure here because we've had these nations mentioned up above and we're coming back to them down here below. So there is definitely a parallelism, but there could be a chiasm hidden here that we'd need to go all the way back up and parallel. And those are hard to find unless you spend the work putting verses side by side and mapping them out in a structure. That I like to point that there could be one. I don't do all the work to say that here's where I see it. It sounds that way. And that's the part I like is to go, oh, take note. This is an oracle about Arabia. In the thicket of Arabia you spent the night. You Dedanite caravans. Bring out some water for the thirsty. You who live in the land of Tema. Bring some food for the fugitives. For they flee from the sword, from the drawn sword, from the battle-ready bow, and from the severity of the battle. So previously we did have take in refugees. We have it again. Here Arabia is supposed to be taking in refugees. I'm guessing from Edom. But this is what the Lord has told me. Within exactly 1 year, all the splendor of Kedar will come to an end, just as a handful of archers and warriors of Kedar will be left. Indeed, the Lord of Israel has spoken. Okay, where is Kedar? It doesn't give me... Maybe it was here. Okay, that's just saying few. Where is Kedar? Okay, I need to know where Kedar is. Okay, we're in Isaiah 21. We haven't looked up anything for a while. Come on. Come on. Move it. Move it. Load. Load. Something must be going slow here. There we go. So 21. Verse, well, just all the way to the end. Kedar. Kedar. Or is it Kedar? Kedar. Kedar. Kedar.
Strong's H 6938. Kedar. Kedar.
A son of Ishmael. Son of Ishmael. Tents of Kedar, the dwelling place of, the tents of. Okay. I want to go see where Kedar is located. I think that's going to be Arabia. Yeah, that's what I typed. Go. Search. Search. Wow, my internet must be slow right now. Okay, this one looks like it's going to give me a possibility. Oh, that's even Isaiah 21, 17 through 11. So that's definitely the one I want. Come on. Why won't you open? There we go. Okay, so here's Edom up here. And then here's Kedar right there. And then Dedan and Tema. Oh, so they put all of the places in there. So Edom is here, and there's Seir, the mountain of Seir. So sometimes the prestigious mountain of worship is what's mentioned, and then you go from there. So, okay, there we go. So Edom's going to flee over here to Arabia, and they're supposed to take refugees. Jerusalem was supposed to take refugees. So, cool. Found it. All right, so we're through 21. Let's see what that does for our reading progress. If it'll load. Man, my internet must be really bogging down right now. Ah, we got that. Okay, so we're through 21. So now we got to put 22 and 23 here. Okay. There we go. We got quite a good section done today. Like I said, I'm hoping to get into the 30s by the end of the week. So we got Thursday and Friday. I think we'll be doing good there. I think we'll be doing good. Well, you know, my internet might be slowing down too. I've got the rain coming outside, so that could be messing with what I got going on. So anyway, thank you all for being here. Great conversation today, as per usual. You know, asking questions about stuff going on in life, asking about how do we, do things and how do we explore things in Scripture, which is always fun to me. Great friends stopping by and hanging out. So glad to have all of you with me today and hanging out. Let's go find someone to raid. Oh, hey, Nanaki, tip of the cap, friend. Tip of the cap. Let's see if someone to raid. Oh, we haven't raided her in a while. Looking to see if someone I haven't seen or haven't raided in quite a while is on. Some of these people I have raided. And, oh, he is. And he's just been up. Oh, you're welcome. So let's go raid. We're going to raid Kanosh. He's a singer, and I think he's a lot of fun. But I haven't not raided him in quite a while. So let's go raid him. He was around earlier, and I hope you enjoy hanging out with him. I do not know that he's a Christian or not. That's not something that's ever come up in conversation, and since he has not brought it up, I have not felt compelled to bring it up to him. But he does hang out in some Christian streams occasionally, and so it's definitely a place to be able to go over to. And we've got Collab Gaming, Team Yellow or Team Red. Well, it's got to be Team Yellow. So let's go. Yes, awesome double raid K for today. Yuke raided him for day 2. Oh, awesome. Let's start the raid. There we go. And let me get you a blessing, everybody. May God's seeking comfort find you. May his loving arms bind you. May his might protect you. May his wisdom direct you. May the joyous love of Jesus Christ be with you and all those you know, both now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you for hanging out with me, for blessing my day. Let's go. Let's bless other people and be a blessing wherever you go today.
Dashing through pages, Chronicles, Gospels, Prophets, Sages, Leviticus, laws to Paul's fine phrases, turning them corners, no spiritual mazes, Genesis to Revelation, soap divine, flipped in scripts, endless grace you'll find, Psalm singing sweet unbroken lines, hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound. Plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul's urban sound. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learn and perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops, deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made of steel. Bethlehem birthed to cross on the hill. Unfolding the blessings, pastor with skill. Scripture flipped, every verse fulfilled. From Eden's garden to Jerusalem's thrill. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? I'm blessed. Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound. Plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul's urban sound. I'm blessed. No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, I'm blessed. No shortcuts, all divine routes. No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learn and